So, what we saw the other night was the movie premiere of Neil Breen's 5th theatrical release, Twisted Pair.
Twisted.
Woo! Yeah! Oh my god!
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that would explain this little getup you got.
Yeah,
going
I
over
got a
here.
beard just like the darker of the pair.
Yeah, you're growing it out. Oh no, wait, that's movie magic.
It is.
Yeah, we saw some real movie magic this past week. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's start with the theater, which was super hipster.
Oh god, it was hipster extravaganza explosion. I felt like I was in Portland or San Francisco or some shit.
Or Austin.
Austin, yeah.
We drove to this place, and it was like a video store. You rent videos, man, like
Yeah.
the 80s. I'm like, I know, I remember.
Oh, these were VHSs, dude. All right.
So we get there, and it's like you can rent videos, and it was like this party in the middle. We walk through it, and you got these dirty looks. And we brought a laptop,
Yeah.
an old laptop.
Tuna.
We brought tuna. Like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. We thought it'd be like Rocky Horror Picture Show type crazy people.
Yeah. Throw
This
tuna
bunch
at
of
the screen.
And everyone's like, yeah, Breen, he's doing this, me. I'm not getting too excited about it. I'm really fucking cool. I'm like, oh, you guys are assholes.
Yeah, I felt like everybody thought that they were too cool for school.
Yeah. Like, we know who Neil Breen is, do you?
Yeah. Yes. No, you're not a part of the in-crowd. I mean, it was pretty, like, gaudy and fancy. Like,
Yeah.
I liked the actual theater itself.
It was fancy.
Yeah. And you have, like, these little desk lamps, like, hidden underneath the tray so you can, like, read the menu and take notes, which is what I did. I took all kinds of notes. I took pages and pages and pages of notes. Can you even believe it?
And I took some notes, too.
Ignore that shadow. That's the prop guy.
Go away, Carl. All right.
Ugh.
Carl. What an asshole.
Yeah. Carl, you're a piece of shit. Go wait outside.
Okay.
So,
The movie itself.
Twisted Pair. Oh, yeah.
Well, first was like the whole beginning of the movie was exposition about his powers.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone talk about something for a long time and not even ever get to the point?
Of actually telling you about it?
That's what it was. It was
Yeah.
just like, I have powers. And then he kind of said him and his brother
Yeah.
were taken away by these beings and given whatever.
Yeah, there was like some weird, like, CG, stiff-faced laser eye. Like, you hear like an explosion and like...
That's how I wrote laser eye. Laser face.
eyes.
Yeah.
And then we hear like a crash and I'm like, what's happening? And then you see like this very vague, like in the dark shadows of like a face with a laser eye.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, is this like an alien god or something that like kidnapped the Breen twins? So you got like the evil Kirk and the normal Kirk, and then one has a goatee.
I think it was Spock who did it.
I think they all had them.
Okay.
Didn't Uhura have a beard? They all did. You just give them a goatee, and that's how you know that they're like from the parallel universe or
Wow.
something.
The bad one was more like the Punisher. The bad one was
Yeah.
like, I want to take the corrupt people, the businessmen, and I want to torture them
Yeah.
and then shoot them.
String them up, you know, gay sex in the dark.
This is where we bring you all to rot and die.
And then the
In a meat
good
locker.
one is going to help soldiers get out of buildings.
Yeah.
He's gonna
I will protect you.
protect people, but
Yeah.
still get bad people, but
Yeah.
protect the good.
Uh-huh.
While the other one's like, fuck everybody.
Just kill everybody. Yeah, I gotcha.
Because he doesn't have powers. He did something or didn't do something, and he doesn't have the same powers.
Yeah, but the soldier protector guy was also a rapist. So this is where our is it rape comes into play. So after he saves, air quotes, these soldiers from an exploding building.
Which is an amazing scene because he definitely took stock footage of soldiers walking.
Yeah.
Paused it, and he goes, I'm freezing you. Let me get in front of you and help you get out of this building.
Yeah.
Then he walks in front of the frozen soldiers and
Yeah.
then replays the video.
Get behind me. I will protect you. The soldiers don't react to this at all. They just follow him.
Yeah.
And then he jumps in a window and out a window. He's got like the super jump cut power. That was one of his powers. So he freezes time.
Yeah.
He talks to them with his mind. He super jump cuts. And then he uses mind control, which is where the is it rape comes into play.
Yeah, so there's a situation, I'm going to decide, was this rape in the movie? All right, so he sees this woman on the street and then knocks over some shit in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And they lock eyes and go,
Yeah.
oh. And then immediately,
I don't know about locking eyes. She seemed
Wow.
uncomfortable for like 100% of that scene.
well, he makes a connection.
Yeah.
So he makes a connection,
Can it be one-sided like that? Is that a connection?
and immediately, like seconds pass. He's like, you're so beautiful and amazing. Let's meet here. Let's go out. 8 o'clock. Leave me alone. 8 o'clock. Leave me alone.
Take
You're
you
a
out to
creep.
dinner.
Leave me alone. I
Let-
have
let-
a boyfriend.
Let's have
Get
a
out of my
let's
face.
have a
Leave me
drink.
alone.
Let's have a drink.
Leave me alone.
Let's have
I
a drink.
a boyfriend.
I'll meet
Get
you
out of my
back here
face.
at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
trailer. But what you don't see in the trailer is after that, he comes back at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like during the whole thing, there's a homeless guy there.
Yeah, he gives the homeless guy money.
And the homeless guy's sitting there with rubber rats and feeding the rubber rats food. But he comes
Yeah.
back at 8, and
Comes
the
back.
rat guy's like,
Yeah.
oh, didn't show up. Nope, didn't show up.
Yeah. Throws him some more money, misses.
And then he's walking around talking about his powers or some shit.
My superior powers.
My
He kept
superior
saying
powers.
that. Yeah.
Like, what are they? Never mind.
Yeah.
So then then you see the girl and you see him, and you hear the voiceover say, "There's that girl from before. I'm going to follow her home." Oh no.
So yeah, she's like, oh, there's that girl again. I think I'll follow her.
Oh, and he does.
Yeah.
Goes into her house.
Mm-hmm.
Follows her into her house. Like wrestles with her on the couch.
Oh yeah, she's like fighting for her life.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's grabbing her.
yeah, he's calling her a bitch.
Yeah,
It's like,
saying,
this is what you get for not meeting me at 8, bitch.
and he says like, you like me now? Wait till I
Yeah.
use my powers, bitch. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is happening?
So that was one of his powers, because all of a sudden, like after she like broke this conveniently placed picture frame that was just sitting on the couch over his head while they're like fighting awkwardly.
They stop and laugh.
Yeah. What's for dinner?
As if that was what they did all the time.
Yeah. So you were confused by that. You
So
thought that they were
I
playing.
thought it's like, oh, let's play that game where you follow me home and then you pretend to like assault me.
Yeah, it's like
and
a
then
sex
we
game.
laugh when we eat dinner. Yeah. Oh, this is our little game we play.
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha ha! You almost assaulted me. You're a stalker.
Yeah.
But so is it rape? Is it a fun game? I don't know.
I think that he used his powers, air quotes, to mind control her into being his girlfriend.
And I think that it's a poorly explained like sex game. Because this whole movie's poorly explained.
I can't agree with you about either of those.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed the film a lot, and I felt like the things that were left open to interpretation
Yeah.
make it that much more interesting. 'Cause,
Right.
I mean, look at us. We're having a conversation about this movie right
And the
now,
whole theater was
and it's
recoiling.
memorable.
The whole theater was recoiling in horror while this was happening.
Yeah, I did hear a couple of like that.
What?
Like that.
Is he doing this?
No.
Every time we touched the
Yeah.
woman, we were like, "Oh God, no!"
Yeah, I definitely heard a couple of no's in the
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah. And then when it turns out that they were fine with it,
Yeah,
people-
and then
either
everybody was like, what?
people are confused or
Yeah.
relieved, or both.
both at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like I think a few people were there on dates or with like people that they knew from work, and they're like, "What the fuck did you bring me to?"
Yeah, like
And they're like, "Oh, huh? You're gonna have to explain that to me later." I mean, there were a few other like random things though, like during the first quarter of the movie where there was exposition being flown around.
yeah.
So I wrote in my notes AI, and I underlined it about 6 or 8
Well, he says
times.
he mentions AI a lot.
Yeah.
And
Talking about
one thing we talked about was
Yeah.
when he's talking about AI, what is he talking about? He doesn't get the details of what's important about it, what you can accomplish with it.
Well, there was
what's
a
his-
scene. There was a scene where he's like sitting there and he has this very confused look on his face, and they superimpose robots trading, exchanging brains.
Yeah.
And then that was the last that we saw of the robots. So I don't know. Was that like a vision of the future? And then he's talking about programmable virtual reality and DNA mind hacking.
Wow.
And I think they were talking about like, I don't know, it's like a Ghost in the Shell reference or something where people are like stuck in virtual reality and that they're hacking each other's VR. but then their DNA is somehow involved. Like in the credits where he misspelled detective.
It was during the credits, and I didn't notice, but the guy next to us was like, he misspelled detective. I'm like, what? There's twice in a row he spelled detective, D-E-C.
He has this handler, this lady that hands him like a floating orb, and she's all like telling him like, hey, get on this Learjet and have sex with this prostitute.
Yeah.
After saving all the soldiers, and I don't know where this
Well,
was.
I think it sets him up as a smooth guy.
Yeah.
Who has
This is
powers.
Sort of 007, but
Yeah,
a
like,
little bit dirty.
His whole thing at the beginning is like, I have powers. I'm very liked and wanted, and I can do whatever I want to do.
He's like wearing jeans with like his tucked in shirt.
Meanwhile,
inside out
the
because
other
he
brother
to hide
has
the
like
logo.
a hoodie on, and he's in like shitty places, and he's torturing business people.
Yeah, in the meat locker, he shoots a couple of them in the penis.
And they're so open about it too. They're like, well, I have been cheating people from money for years.
Yeah.
I've made many false accounts.
And it was really dark when they were playing this audio, and everybody in the movie was like, oh my god, are we watching a porn right now? Because these guys were like, I think they were supposed to be in pain, but they sounded like they were enjoying it.
Well, and Bad Breen did this thing like he would kill people. He just straight out shoot them, and then like
he dropped a syringe.
He dropped a syringe. I don't know why it was just in his pocket, but it fell so gently. Mm-hmm. And then after they find the syringe,
the detective couldn't get it in the bag. Remember that?
Yeah, the detective tried to pick up the syringe like without touching it.
Yeah.
You know, like how they do in movies with like a glove or something. But it took him like a whole minute.
Yeah,
to
and
get
they
it in
held
there.
that shot, and he's struggling with it, and then you see him just kind of give up. He gives up.
Yeah, he does, and he just pulls it out of frame.
Yeah, he just
like,
pulls
fuck
it
it.
out of the frame. He's like, you know what? Just just
you
pretend
get
it's
it.
in the bag. Yeah, they did the purple forest thing, and he's floating in the air. So yeah, he was kind of like floating over the grass, and the grass was moving when he stepped on it. So I was like, okay, that looked kind of shit. But I think that was because it was VR.
Right.
But then there was another scene where he's like at the main villain's house. What was his name? Mr. Coos.
Oh,
And
the
he had
jewels?
that- Yeah, he had like a.
Oh my
He had
god.
like a giant vase of jewels that he'd carry around, like one of those Costco-sized like fucking champagne glasses full of jewels, and
But
he'd
like
just carry it around his
those
house.
like if you get like large plastic fake jewels, and he would just he'd run his fingers through it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he had a plate. He had the table. There was those cat statues, and they'd move.
The cat statues moved, and then he had these red glasses, and the scarf would change.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even recognize the scarf was changing.
No, the scarf would like transform to another scarf.
Oh, and then there was like a thing where he had like this stripper, and she would teleport
the stripper
around.
fairy.
Yeah, the stripper fairy. She had those fairy wings. She looked like a complete whore.
Like take a stripper, all right, now give her fairy wings.
Yeah, and then give her glitter, and she'll
And
float
now
around.
she's like the spiritual advisor to, like she's like
Mr. Coos.
Mr. Coos.
Yeah.
She disappears and reappears.
Yeah.
At one point, she goes into a house, which we're pretty sure is Neil Breen's house.
Oh, it was definitely Neil Breen's house.
But on the screen is a scene from Pass Through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that one with the red dot. It's one of the two. And
Yeah, there's
like
piles of bodies.
the piles of bodies. And they show a scene from another Neil Breen movie. She turns it on, turns it off, and disappears. And then she turns into a pile of jewels, like in Mr. Coos' cup. But like, it
I don't remember that.
well, the jewels.
That really happened?
The jewels. No, this is what happens.
I must have happened when I looked away to take notes for a second.
You can't turn away.
I
because-
missed so much of this movie. I took 18 pages of notes.
So what's crazy is that the jewels collect in her little shoes with spikes on it,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, so the jewels are these people.
Oh,
Is
that
that-
makes sense.
Okay, what makes sense because I don't get it.
What you just said. That makes sense.
Why?
I don't know. Moving on. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for everybody because I know the truth. I will put money on this. I bet my life that
Right.
everything that happened in this movie was virtual reality and that we're going to experience an amazing revelation beyond anything that we have ever experienced in our entire lives
Wow.
in the next movie. Because this is going to be a series of films. He already said it. He already said that Cade Altair will return at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
So, sorry to skip ahead on that, but this is going to happen.
And then, okay, he fights soldiers. The most least soldiery soldiers ever. He goes to community college.
yeah.
He goes into the lobby, and he Spider-Man jumps to like the top thing, and they shoot.
Yeah.
And they shoot at him, and
His
he
jump
runs.
cut powers.
He runs away.
Yeah.
And they just say, "All right, he's gone now." They don't
then
chase
they just
him.
go back to standing where they were. I kept calling them the BDS Army, the BDS
Oh, the
Army.
gas mask thing.
Yeah, because they had the gas masks on. They had like all different kinds of shoes. Like they didn't have like army boots or police boots.
Yeah,
they
they
all
all-
kind of had like different shoes on. So it was like, okay, we forgot to include that in the costumes.
And then things get crazy when Bad Neil Breen in the apartment with his girlfriend is awesome. So like him and his girlfriend,
They punch each other.
they're sitting in bed like, oh, we have all these drugs. I need more drugs. Give me more
Yeah.
money.
I need
And
a
he's like,
drink.
I'm
I'm
so-
really pissy.
I'm so strung out on drugs.
Yeah.
You can't just.
I don't care about you. I just want the drugs and the money.
Then they're sitting at a table at some point, and they have a mirror with a bunch of lines of coke on it, among other things on the table. But it's like leaned up towards the camera, so you can see what's on the mirror clearly. Instead of just like, hey, let's go another shot like above or like a POV shot. No, we're just gonna take this 2-shot and that's it.
Well, the camera was on a tripod, and those are the only 2 people on set that day. I don't think they even had a sound guy. Did they?
He is the sound guy,
Yeah, he's all of them. That's why in the credits it says anything with a B or an internet.
which we all cheered for very loudly.
Everybody fucking cheered. I took a picture. Show it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, there it is.
But when Bad
right.
Breen's girlfriend runs into Good Breen, she thinks it's him. It's like, well, you shaved your beard. You look weird. And then he's like, I never had a beard. Leave me alone. I've never had a beard. And
Yeah.
he says that. Like, why? Why would then? But Good Breen's girlfriend is watching. The
Yeah.
one that he like mind controls or has weird sex games with. And she goes, oh, but nothing comes of it. No, like, who is
Yeah.
that girl?
Yeah.
Like, here's
The
a
next
plot
thing, it's all
twist.
fine.
Here's a plot twist to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Then turns out she's a spy for quote unquote them.
Yeah, he's like, you betrayed us. Right?
Yeah.
He goes after her, you betrayed us.
And they both get shot, but he's fine apparently.
Yeah, and then she goes to Purple Heaven.
And then the very end, it was like, why? Because he puts like a shot of him and his brother on this like huge on the screen, just awkwardly smiling. It's like, why?
It wasn't even like this was what, like in part of the credits or between
After.
the credits, or
It was after.
after the credits. Kate Altair will return.
Then here's him with his awkward brother who just kind of, if you know what happens to the 2 characters, Neil Breen goes into Purple Heaven and he can come back and
Yeah.
forth. And then the brother walks away into the night
Yeah.
to be the Punisher.
Well, I think that Neil Breen did a good job in this film. So leave
6
your
weeks.
opinion regardless, you know.
Yeah. If you use mental powers to change someone's mind, is that rape?
Yeah. And then also, was that what happened in the movie, or were they playing a weird sex game?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Keep it interesting. Keep the marriage interesting.
Who's there? 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 Oh shit.
Oh well, that's over.
Shit.
Got a little excited. That's a good ending.